It's time once again for that huge event that comes around every summer. Yes, you know, we're talking about the Heaven to Sell 100 sales event at Patterson Dodge Chrysler Jeep. And now it's even bigger. 0% financing for 72 months is now available on select vehicles. Plus, we've got to sell 100 new cars and trucks to make room for the 100 we have on the back lot. 0% is still available on Dodge Ram pickups. Or choose a cash rebate of up to $6,000. It's the Heaven to Sell 100 sales event. Only at Patterson Dodge Chrysler Jeep on Jacksboro Highway. And remember, before you buy, price it at Patterson.
Now, News Channel 6 Sports with Andy Austin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 2 of the Friday Night High School Football Update. We're tracking a couple of dozen games tonight, and we get started at Memorial Stadium, where Wichita Falls High School is hosting a very dangerous Everman squad. Once again, Michaela Lechuga has agreed to come over from the news side to help us out, and she joins us now live from Memorial Stadium. Michaela, how are the Coyotes doing tonight?
Thanks, Andy. The Coyotes were looking for another fast start after jumping on Sweetwater early last week, but it would not be so, or it looks like it won't be so. Let's check out some highlights. Everman would jump out early in the first. Clarence Giddings takes off for 17 yards. It's a touchdown. The Bulldogs miss the PAT, and it's 6-0 Everman. Next, Everman possession. It's Giddings again. This time he motors for 30 yards on that play, and look out, Coyotes. Down 14-0 after the 2-point conversion. The Coyotes would get on the board in the second quarter. Ben Henderson finds Antoine Moore. He makes a catch and is in the end zone for the touchdown. 14-7, Everman on top. Then how about some defense? 3rd and long, and Andrew Goebel with the big sack. That would force the punt, but pinned deep in their own end. Henderson fumbles, and after a loose ball scramble, Everman's Darius Thomas recovers in the end zone for the touchdown. It was 28-7 Everman at the half. And right now there's 1:16 left in the final quarter. Right now the score is 50-19. Andy, the Coyotes got down early and really had a hard time tonight moving the football. Kind of the exact opposite of last week when they were gaining yards right and left. But still, there's 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and it looks like that the Coyotes, missed out tonight. But they played hard. The boys had heart, and it was a good game. Andy, we're live at the stadium. We'll give it back to you. Reporting live, Michaela Lechuga, News Channel 6 Sports.
All right. Michaela, thank you very much for that report from Memorial Stadium. Looks like a bad evening for the Coyotes. Let's take a look at how some of the other city teams are going to do or have yet to do. Ryder will be in Midland to play Midland Lee High School. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow, so obviously no score on that. Hershey also on the road. They will be in Lubbock tomorrow to play a neutral site game against Portales High School out of New Mexico. That'll be a 5 o'clock start in Lubbock. And Burke Burnett playing this evening, and they're getting a really nice win. There's about 9 minutes left in that game. Burke Burnett leading at 34-14. They're playing in the fourth quarter of that contest. City View was one of a handful of schools that didn't play last week, and the Mustangs were hoping to get their season off to a good start tonight as they played host to Quanah, a team that took an unexpected pounding from Alney last week and is hoping to get things turned around tonight. And let's find out who accomplished their goals, and we'll pick it up. This is Quanah on the move and looking around to lob it downfield, and it'll be finally running through a couple of tackles, and that is a score, I believe, and it's 26-0 Quanah at the half of that contest. We'll now move to the third quarter, and that 26-0. We're in the third quarter now. City View getting ready to come back out on the field, and we'll pick it up. City View will the snap over Quanah's head, and City View is running it down, and finally it'll be recovered by City View, and they will get a shot at it. A few plays later, it'll be on the 10-yard line, and they will throw the ball into the end zone, and it will be a touchdown. You got to like that. Taking a look at the final score in this one, though, Quanah has its way in the contest as they win it by a final of 26-6. Iowa Park on the road tonight. They lose to Abilene Wiley. The final in that one was 42-2. And Vernon wins a thriller over Midland Christian in overtime. They win it by a final count of 24-23. Well, next game up is Notre Dame High School, and Notre Dame was playing host to Bryson at Father Abstetter Field. And off we go to take a look at them, and we'll pick it up, Notre Dame. And it'll be Jordan Clayton, and he will run around, still looking around, throws the ball deep downfield, and it is intercepted by Bryson's Cowboys, and they will run this one back and almost run it all the way to the rest. Jordan Clayton of Bryson running it almost all the way back. And then later in the second quarter will be Bryson's ball once again. It'll be Corey Hopper, and he will get the handoff right there. Has a lot of running room, and he will bang his way into the end zone to put Bryson on top by a score of 6-0. The point after touchdown was no good in that one. And taking a look at the final score, Bryson goes on to beat Notre Dame. The final score in that game was 25-12. A couple other scores to tell you about right now. Wichita Christian gets a nice win on the road as they go to Azle and beat Azle Christian by a final count of 44-26. And Boyd is leading Bowie 35-0. They were just getting underway in the fourth quarter of that contest. And we can also tell you that Graham was a winner this evening. They beat Clyde by a score of 12-0. Back when both schools were in Class 2A, Electra battling Holiday used to be one of the really fun games of the season. Now Electra has dropped down to Class A, which means the Tigers would really have to play well to have any shot with hanging with Holiday tonight, but they're going to give it a try. And off we go to Electra to take a look at some highlights. And there are the Tigers coming onto the field. We'll pick it up in the first quarter. Tyler Jolly will rumble through the left side of the line, and he'll end up going about 44 yards for a touchdown. Extra point is no good, and it's Holiday on top by a score of 6-0. Still first quarter. Electra quarterback around the right side, and he was just about the offense for Electra this evening. Picks up 8 yards right there, brings up a fourth down situation. They go for it and do not get it, and then Trey Lawson, who's developing into quite the good little quarterback. So Landry Lemons right there. Lemons will get it down to about the 20. A few plays later, they're on the 2, and it'll be Lawson throwing the fade route to Lemons, makes the catch in the corner of the end zone, and that puts them on top by a score of 12-0. Second quarter, Braden Little breaks through the right side of the line, and he will go 50-plus yards for the touchdown to put Holiday on top by a score of 18-0. And then a little later in the second quarter, this is a real pretty pass play coming up. Lawson will be back to pass, and he's going to throw this right over the middle, slant pattern. Landry Lemon right there. That's about as good as it gets. He goes about 60 yards for the touchdown. And taking a look at the final score, Holiday goes, oh, excuse me, that's backward. Holiday wins that. Holiday wins it by a score of 30-6. Holiday did win that. Winthorst the winner tonight over Lindsay, 28-7 the final in that one. Archer City a winner over Santo, 58-8 the final there. And Petrolia went for a 2-point conversion late in the game. It was no good, and Alvoid escaped with a 14-13 win. Finally, we move north of the Red River to Walters. The Blue Devils lost their season opener last week and were hoping to get back on the winning track tonight as they hosted Healton. And this is Walters with the football, and it will be an incomplete pass on a 4th and goal situation. Now Walters with the ball once again, and they will bang it away, and they will get close to the end zone, but not quite in. And then it'll be Walters once again, 1st and goal. This time they will score against Healton. He puts them on top. We'll look at the point after touchdown, and it will be no good. That makes it 6-0. That's the latest score we have in that one, was Walters leading at 6-0. One other score from north of the Red River to tell you about. Ryan defeated Paoli tonight. The final in that one was 32-0. So that is a look at all of our high school football tonight.